It's the first time. Oh, God, I'm Bennett. Hello everybody, this is kind of my first attempt at doing, I wouldn't call it a review, although I have got a new pair of boots here, so I'm just going to show you them and just talk you through why I chose the boots that I did. I'm also going to go back to sort of my last lot of footwear as well, and to explain how they influenced my decision as well, and also my usual summer footwear, which is something quite different from walking boots really. So here we go. These are the boots I've got. They're called Keen, as you can see from the box. The reason I chose them is because they're quite a wide fit. Now I traditionally have trouble with narrow fitting boots. I've bought narrow boots in the past mainly, stupidly, because I thought they looked good. And they've seemed okay in the shop, and then when I've got them out and done a walk in them, I've been in a world of pain. So I traditionally go for wide brands anyway. My last pair were Mindle, which have always suited me really well. I've had a few pair of Mindle, and I suppose I could have carried on using them, but I'd heard quite a few good reports about these. I was talking to a bloke last year on Wild Boar Fellow, had a pair, and he recommended them. Online recommendations have sort of influenced my decision as well. So these are the Keen Targhee III. They're a mixture of, like, is it called nubuck leather, that like suede leather, and I think there's a little bit of fabric as well. I'm a big fan of fabric boots. I always have been. I find leather boots just a little bit too heavy, but that's very much a personal thing. Right, let's open these anyway. I have opened them before, I know what they're like, I've checked them. Right, let's get them out. Put that out of the way. Right, these are the boots. They're a size 9.5. I seem to be 9.5 in everything, me. I'm quite easy in terms of size in the boots. I can't remember ever being anything other than 9.5 as an adult. That's the front view. Side view, as you can see, quite a low boot. They're not like a big above the ankle shin kind of boot. Again, that's very much a personal thing. I don't like big clumpy boots. I like quite light boots, me. There's a saying I've read somewhere along the lines of £1 on your feet is equivalent to £10 on your back, or something like that, and I'll be honest, I've sort of subscribed to that train of thought quite a bit. So yeah, this is the boot. As you can see, I think it's quite an attractive looking boot. It's got a waterproof liner. It's not Gore-Tex, I don't know what it is, but it's a waterproof liner. It's got a nice chunky sole. I like the sole, very chunky, should be good on sort of rough ground. It's got this nice protective toe, which is good. And you might be able to see there, just sort of the width at this point. They're quite a wide boot. But yeah, so far, I tried them on in the shop, they felt good. I only walked up and down, but yeah, I did get an instant feel for them, which I think is a really good thing with boots. Usually, if you get a good vibe, it's traditionally works out for me. Not always, but most of the time. Let's have a look at the insole inside. I always think that's the measure of a good boot as well. I haven't even really looked at this bit. Ooh, it's quite stiff. There we go, there's the insole. Now, I'm saying it's a measure of a good boot. I wouldn't know whether that's a good insole or a bad insole really. Seems okay, it's quite rigid at the back, bit of give at the toe. Got these nice little shapes on that make it look quite good. I don't know whether they really mean anything. Let's just stuff that back in. One thing about these boots, because they're kind of, excuse me, a bit of a hybrid in terms of material, fabric here on the tongue and stuff, and like this nubuck leather, probably not quite sure how best to reproof the outer of these when it's time to do it. Maybe I think you can get a nubuck kind of spray, can't you? Maybe that's the way to go. Not sure. I'll do a bit more research on that. forgot what I was going to say. Oh, hang on. Let me come back to it. Sorry about that little break. I just lost what I was going to say. Yeah, I've come back to the waterproofness, and this is, I suppose, this is comparing fabric boots with leather. I have had leather boots in the past. I used to have a really nice pair of Scarpas, but I bet I'm going back 20 years, something like that. Great boot. I think they're called Scarpa Rangers. Really good pair of boots. Leather, comfortable. I could wear them straight from the box. And with leather boots, if you want something that's waterproof, or that has better waterproofness, I'd go for leather every time. It'd be a no-brainer for me, that. But like I said, I just like light footwear. I just don't get as fatigued. I just find them more comfortable. But that means quite often I've had issues with water getting in my boots. Even the best Gore-Tex lined ones. I had some Carrymore Super boots. They were a great boot. They were Gore-Tex lined. They were fine for a while, a few months, but eventually they let in water. Mine don't. Again, fine. A few months, let in water. I do find some pair I might get 6 months, no water ingress. Other brands, 2 months, start leaking. It's just something I've come to accept with fabric boots, and it's not a deal breaker for me. Now I've got round that, I wear sealskin socks. I love sealskin socks. They're just really handy for someone like me who likes fabric boots, but who's experienced a problem of leaking boots. Sealskins with a thin sock line are great. So certainly in the wet and in the winter time, I would be wearing sealskin boots with these. And I've got a funny feeling, because they're made up of quite a patchwork of shapes and designs, there's a lot of stitching. And they always used to say, there's a lot of stitching in your boots, that's a weak point where water can get in. Maybe that's the case with these, maybe it isn't. I don't know, I've not tried them out yet. And when I've tried them out, I'll probably come back to you with that. But like I said, water getting in my boots is not a deal breaker. If I wear sealskin socks, I'm quite comfortable with that. In summer, it doesn't bother me at all. And I'm going to move on to my summer footwear in a minute. So yeah, that's like a first look at these. I can't call it a review because I don't really know what I'm talking about in any depth. I'm not qualified to make a great boot review. I've just given you a look, talked about why I've got them, mainly because of the fit and the weight. But hopefully I'll get back to you and let you know how they perform when I'm outside. I might, if the weather's decent, I might give them a go tomorrow. I might do a short walk with them tomorrow. Right, so that's it for the Keen Targhee. Now, these are what I'll probably wear mostly in sort of spring, autumn, winter in the Pennines. I wouldn't wear these in winter if I'm going up Scotland, I don't think. I don't think they're up to that. But I don't intend going up Scotland in winter. But yeah, for like Pennine walking in winter, I think these would be absolutely fine. I'll just put them to one side, and I'm going to reach for my summer footwear. Now these are not new. These are something I got last summer, and they're called Ultra Lone Peak 4s, and they're a trainer, you can see. I think the designer's a running trainer, but looking at various online reviews again and watching YouTube and things like that, they came to me, they came highly recommended. Once again, perfect for people with wide feet, and you can see these, they're almost like paddles at the front, very wide, quite a peculiar shape. Another unusual aspect is that they're called a zero drop. Now when I got these, I didn't have a clue what that meant, but I've since found out most running trainers have a degree of drop from the heel down to the toe. So there's like a slant. Whether it's gradual, whether it's almost like a step, I don't know, it's like a slant. These have no drop. The heel and the toe is on the horizontal. No inclination at all on the horizontal. There's no drop, a zero drop. What that translates as for the user and the walker, I don't know. I've not noticed any difference. So that's nothing to me. It's supposed to be a good thing according to Ultra and Macon, but I don't know. I can't say I've noticed. These are extremely light. I mean, the material is very, very thin, although it does seem hard wearing. They're not Gore-Tex lined, so in the wet, you're going to get wet feet in these. But the flip side to that is, because they're so lightweight, they're going to dry quickly. They're great sort of long distance walking trainer. I suppose alongside the lightweight, durability could be an issue. I would imagine I'm not going to get years and years out of these. I suppose it depends how much you use them. But I've used them a few times this summer and I absolutely love them. They're comfortable, they're light. I get wet feet in them, but they dry really quick, they're comfortable. In very wet conditions, once again, I put seal skins on with these and they've kept my feet dry. But most of the time I don't bother in summer. I'm not too bothered about wet feet. You stop and have your butties, you take your trainers off, hang your socks out to dry, and you're comfortable again pretty soon after. So first time, oh God, I'm Benny. Yeah, back again. One thing I did notice with these that I wasn't overly keen on, but it's to be expected with any low footwear, is stuff getting in round my ankles, bits of grit and twigs and grass and stuff. And I've got quite skinny ankles, so there's quite a gap round the edge where stuff can get in. If you're wearing long trousers pulled over them, it's not such a problem, but especially in summer and dry, dusty conditions, you're wearing your shorts. So to get around that, again, I found somebody using these on YouTube. I bought these like low gaiters. They're called Dirty Girl gaiters. Don't know why. And unfortunately, they only come in these really garish colours. You can't get any like subdued colours. I couldn't anyway. Lots of choice, but they're all really bright. Ultra do some of these, and on YouTube I saw a review comparing this brand, Dirty Girl, with the Ultra ones, and these, if anything, came out on top. Now the way they work, you've got a hook at the front which goes over this sort of metal loop here, which is great, and then on the back of the gaiter you've got a little Velcro pad, and that fits, hang on, here you've got like the other side of the Velcro on the back of the trainers, so it's a right good fit. They fit really well. So something like that, and obviously my ankle will go in there, and that stops all the bits and bats getting in your boots. Hang on, let me just pull it over. That's better. So yeah, that's how they work. Now I found these two really good, and throwing them in your pack, they weigh next to nothing. So if you're a lightweight fan like I am, no big deal. So if I were using these, I'd get some of these. They're good. I think they were about 20 quid. There might only be one supplier in the UK. It seems a lot, that really, for a bit of fabric, but I like them. They work really well. So yeah, that's my summer thing. And this summer I'm going to give these a lot more of a go. I don't think I got my full use out of them last summer. I didn't do as much walking as I would have liked. This year I want to do some more, so I'm going to be wearing these a lot. Right, okay, that's that. Just before I go, before these Ultras, I used to use a brand called Innovate, or Innovate. I call them Innovate, I don't know how you pronounce it really. And these are my last pair of Innovate trainers. I used to use these quite a lot, and this is my third pair. The first pair of these I put on, I like the ones, I think they're called Rocklight, the Rocklight series. The first pair of these I put on, maybe 9 years ago. They were mind-blowing. I loved them immediately. I put them on. They just felt, they were almost like the perfect footwear. They were light, they were comfortable. The first pair were Gore-Tex lined, although it were a bit daft really, because water would get in over the top and then it'd stay inside, so I only got the Gore-Tex lined version once. They were just fantastic. They just felt like the most wonderful thing for like summer walking. So I used to walk in them. Unfortunately, I wore them out. I think I got quite a bit out of them. I think I got about 3 years, and they're a really good looking trainer as well. I wish I still had them. And I replaced them with the newer model. The next lot of Rocklights, they were slightly different colour, a bit like these, but they were like navy blue. Again, fantastic. No bother whatsoever. And naturally, because I like them, when they went, I got this pair. Unfortunately, when I put this pair on, immediately, and this should have set alarm bells, they felt different, they felt tighter. And I just put it down to the lacing arrangement. Maybe in the shop the laces were a bit, I don't know, I just couldn't imagine the trainers changing so much. Anyway, I bought these, and they were just too snug. They just felt too tight across the front of my foot. I don't know, let me just hold them up with that. I've never really done this actually, this is the first. There's probably quite a big difference there. Actually from the back it don't look much of a difference. But I just never totally got used to these. I could wear them for short walks. As you can see, I experimented with the laces so it won't be so tight. That did help a little bit actually. But I was so disappointed in these ones because I was such a big fan of these Innovate. So, and when I had to turn my back on these, it was quite sad really. But the Ultras came to my rescue, and I have no regrets about buying these. I think these are an excellent trainer as well. I think you'll see quite a few reviews online about them. One or two have been a little bit negative, and it's something to do. There's a YouTuber I watch, and he tried a pair of these out in Scotland. He talks about some sort of lateral sideways movement. Now I can't right remember whether there was movement of the foot, which you would expect with a trainer because you haven't got the ankle support, or because they're wide, maybe there was movement of the foot inside the trainer as my hand's moving now. Maybe it was that, I don't know. But as I have wide feet anyway, I don't have a problem with that. And it's not something I've encountered. So that's my first little foray into describing gear. Again, I'm loath to call it a review because I don't think I'm qualified to review anything particularly well, but that's my thoughts on my footwear, and these are the brands and models that work for me at the moment. Saying that, will the Keens work for me? I don't know, I've got to try them out. Mine will certainly work for me. But I think the Keens will. Like I said, I got a good vibe when I tried them on in the shop, so I'm going to do a walk with them, maybe a couple, maybe a few, and then hopefully I can give a more balanced verdict, shall we say, after I've used them a bit in the wet and the dry. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching. I hope it wasn't too tedious. I hope you got some use out of it, and I might do this again depending on what sort of feedback I get afterwards. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.